Hello, it's Maria here, and today we're going to be designing a fantasy character. Human-like fantasy creatures have always been a huge part of mythology and are still relevant in a lot of media from today. They're usually mostly human with a few animal attributes. Centaurs and fauns, for example, are part horse and goat, and angels are typically very beautiful-looking people with feathered bird-like wings. You could also create a person that's more sea-based, like sirens and mermaids, which we have seen in some Disney movies. Or you could do a more creative fusion of a lot of different things. Maleficent, for example, is a human with bird-like wings, ram-like horns, and wolf-like teeth. You could also do something more simple. Vampires are really human, but they have fangs. Elves are also very human, but with pointy ears, and dwarves look like normal people, just very short. You could also go a more monstrous route by adding or removing limbs and changing some colors. Though the anatomy and body parts of your character is important, you still want to consider what type of stuff they'll wear and what kind of mood you want them to show. Do you want them to be elegant and graceful, or scary and creepy, or really aggressive and angry? You have to consider all these things as you design your fantasy person. Since today we're just coming up with the idea for our character, I'm going to start with just a piece of sketching paper and create a few different quick drawings of possible ideas that I have. I'm thinking I want to design a humanoid alien. I'm going to keep everything very human looking, but I'm going to give them big ears, big eyes, and a really big forehead. But I also maybe want to include some animal-like features. I'm going to give this guy really big hands and big feet that kind of resemble a frog. If you're going to include animal-like features, especially something like wings, I really recommend you pull up a reference and try to incorporate that into your drawing. Before I move on to my final drawing, I'm going to sketch out a couple other ideas I had. One of them is to exaggerate the proportions a little bit more, and I also want to try something completely different and maybe draw an angel or something. However, I still ended up liking my original alien drawing the most, so I'm probably going to continue with that. The most important part of drawing a person is to mark where the top of the head is and where the bottom of the feet are. When people start off by just drawing the head, most of the time they end up not being able to fit the entire person on the page. This time you want to make sure that everything fits, so you have to mark where your person starts and ends before you do anything else. Now, let's do a quick recap of human proportions. First off, the legs take up half of your body. The top half is your torso and your head. The knees bend the legs exactly in half. The size of the head is about 1/7 or 1/8 of your body. The shoulders and the hips are roughly the same width, with the torso getting a little bit thinner at the waist. When your arms are extended fully down, then your elbows are at the same line as your belly button, and your fingertips will end mid-thigh. But I want to exaggerate the hands and the feet on my character, so he's going to have really big hands with really long fingers. You can exaggerate certain characteristics of this person to make them look a little bit more interesting or unique. On my character, I'm going to make them look kind of bony and awkward, so they're not going to have much muscle. You should also consider what your character is wearing. I want this alien to be kind of goofy looking, so he's going to have a really big helmet and big shoulder pads. This is just the design of your character and not your final illustration. You should still add as much detail as you can to this drawing, but keep them in a standing and very neutral position. You also might want to add some light, simple shading just to show that they look 3D, or to express some kind of color or pattern. I feel pretty happy with how my alien guy turned out. Now, it's your turn.